Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another Alpha Sharks overview. We will be going over the training page and the view page as well today, and going over any questions that anybody has regarding the tool. So, just like always, we're going to let some people jump in here and going to get settled in, and we'll jump right into it. Yo, what's good, Wake Artist? I'm gonna pop your thing up real quick. What's good, man? How's it going? All right. Again, welcome those watching outside of the Discord. This is going to be an Alpha Sharks overview. Again, we are going to be going over the trending page, the view page, and maybe even the minting page. So a little bit of everything on the Sharks platform, and going to see if we see some live trades. If people have questions on any projects, we can definitely go over that as well. Um, but yeah, we're gonna do few more minutes and let some more people jump in, and then we will get started. All right. Um, let's jump right into it, y'all. So first thing we're actually going to see here is going to be the trending page on Alpha Sharks itself. Put that in full screen for you guys. Cool. So first thing we're going to see here is the actual trending page. Then we're going to see our trending projects. We're here going to have multiple time frames to kind of filter through with multiple stats to kind of go over on the actual project itself. So one of the first things, again, I like to go over if you've been to some of these sessions is the 24-hour chart. And what this is pretty much calculating is everything that it states. So sales, volume, unique holders listed. It's all going to show this within the 24-hour time frame. A very neat metric to look at because combining sales and ETH is going to give us a better idea of where true demand is on the 24-hour time frame. So personally, what I like to do is go in here and look at for, again, what's quote unquote normal. And what I mean by normal is what's pretty much normal. So let's take a look at this first one. We actually have 106 ETH volume traded on the 24-hour time frame with the Utes Yacht Club. So that's the first sign saying, hey, we have triple-digit ETH volume. That's solid. Always good to have triple-digit ETH volume. Notice the next one is just about half of the first one. So this is telling us that there's a lot more demand inside the one with more ETH volume because, again, that's where the money's being put. So we now see a discrepancy. Let's go to the next one. We have 8 ETH traded. So we can see from the one just above at 68 ETH volume traded, going down to 8 ETH volume traded. We already just said that this project here has less demand than the first one, and this one has 8 times less volume than the one above. So you can see here how the demand is actually kind of playing out. So right now, let's go to the next one. We have 11 ETH, and not too far off 8 ETH. So we can say anything under 10 ETH is pretty low volume on the day, on the 24-hour time frame. Anything with above 50 is pretty decent, and anything with triple-digit ETH volume is something we definitely want to look at. Kind of like this genuine undead right here. Definitely one we want to keep an eye on, especially with the listing percentage being about 14%. That insinuating pretty much a thinner wall to kind of get through to push through to higher price targets. Let's keep going down. Super Space Monkey World. Notice that it already has a NBCP blue chip next to it. 76% unique holders, pretty solid, and then almost pushing that 15 to 10% listed. So this is one to kind of keep an eye on. Looks like it kind of just started moving off. Let's keep going through. So pretty much what we like to do is go through the same process on multiple time frames. And what this is going to show us is true discrepancies in the supply and demand. So ideally, if we start to see multiple pop-ups on multiple time frames of the same project, it's probably going to tell us that we have a pretty decent amount of demand coming in at that point. So if we see one on the 24-hour, the 1 hour, the 30-minute, the 15-minute, and the 1 minute, and it's pretty much the top ETH volume traded across all time frames, that's definitely something we're going to want to be taking a look at. So in the 1 hour, let's pretty much do the same thing. We have here 27 ETH volume traded. Going to the next one, we have 2 ETH, or pretty much 3 ETH volume traded. That's 9 times less than what Utes Yacht Club is actually doing. So we can see we actually have made more demand in Utes Yacht Club, 9 times the demand actually. So 27 ETH is definitely one to keep an eye on. Notice Super Space Monkey World. This one pops up again and has 13 ETH volume traded. So right here, what we're recognizing just off this page alone, we're recognizing that double-digit ETH volume traded is going to be something that's in major demand on this time frame. But again, if we saw this on the 24-hour, that's probably not something we'd really want to utilize, as we've seen triple-digit ETH volume up there. So let's go into a lower time frame and see if we can see any other interesting discrepancies. So notice our volume again. Utes Yacht Club with 5 ETH volume traded within the last 15 minutes. And notice the next ones beneath it don't even touch 1 ETH volume traded. So this is telling us that we have major demand inside this project itself. So I think that's the one we're probably going to go over today. So let's actually jump right into the view of that. Okay. Cool. So now what I'm doing is going inside the view portion of the tool and pretty much going to break down. Now we kind of filtered out through the projects that we're kind of looking for where there was actual demand at. Now we're inside the detailed view where we can actually go in here and start getting some more details on the actual project. So first thing I like to do is kind of come up here and pair numerous statistics together. So personally, this owner to supply ratio is one I talk about a lot, and I like that personally to be sitting around 50%. The reason for that being is because I want more owners to supply, because again, as a seller on this side, if you only had one of something, let's say that there was 10,000 owners and 10,000 supply, so everybody had just one. At this point, if this project actually starts to get some traction, it's going to be a lot harder for you to let go of just one asset because you'd be completely out of the position. So with lower owner counts, this is ideal that you're probably more likely to get people with a lot more tokens, which is why we're seeing this portion here. We're seeing lots of 10 plus tokens and 5 to 9 plus tokens, which is going to insinuate thicker walls to get through. Because think of the example that we just gave and broke down. As opposed to just having one token, which would be the green bars, if you're in a position and the position starts going your way and you have 10 plus of the asset, it's probably a lot easier for you to de-risk outside of the position, meaning you putting supply into the circulation. which again, not only you're going to have that idea, but multiple other people with the same kind of thought process are going to go through that. And the thing is if there's no demand coming in, it's going to be very tough for these holders to see their profits deplete right in front of their face, pretty much. So this is kind of ideally why I like to see this owner supply ratio pushing at least 50%. But again, doesn't mean that these projects won't be able to run. Again, using these in conjunction with all the statistics that we're kind of showing and utilizing is going to help you pretty much see these reversal zones potentially. One of the next metrics I want to go over is the NBCP, which is going to be next blue chip probability. And this number here is a very key number I talk about for when people go into, I guess you will call them degen plays, or something that's very low cost in ETH, or like a free mint or of such. This is going to be a very key number to look at over time if you're looking to trade this on a longer scale. The reason for that being is because the higher the percentage or the probability, it's pretty much calculating blue chip projects that are inside the project that we're actually looking at. And it's taken into account the wallets and how many assets are actually within that are actually owned within this project. And it's taking a mean of that and giving us a probability on that. Pushing about 5, 7, 10% is kind of the sweet spot for these things to actually start moving over time. Goblins was a great example of this. Literally started at like 1% and pushed all the way, I think, to like 20 something percent at one point. And we can see how that ended up going. So this number is going to be very key to look at over time if you're looking to, again, try to swing this across either multiple days or a while after that. Next thing we're going to look at here is going to be listings. Our listings is huge because it's directly correlated to our supply. And again, we know our supply here is going to be set. So I like utilizing listings, total listings out of the supply. So I mean the total circulation. This is a huge number right here because we only have 10% or about 13% of the supply in circulation right here. I like pushing 10%, 15% is okay. But under 10 again is going to give us thinner walls to kind of get through at that point. So this is definitely something to keep an eye on because listings are also going to be directly correlated to this chart down here. This chart down here. So whenever we're watching listings, this number and this number here, if you actually hover over, it should be the exact same number. The point where you'll get some discrepancies is where you start messing with this threshold. And what this threshold is pretty much telling us is, let's say that we're looking at, let's stick it at that. Let's say our floor price is 0.023. Let's say we want to only see listings up until 0.05 or 0.055. I can highlight and click that actual sell wall, and it'll only start calculating the listings up until this actual point or up until this threshold. And you'll notice the difference that listings is actually calculating total listings, which is what you'll see here as well. Again, when you put the threshold, it's only counting the listings up until that point. So this number and the cumulative number here should add up as well. So the next one is going to be, I guess, our transaction circles now that we have a few kind of coming in here. Lots of people ask about priority fees and gas fees to kind of utilize for sniping certain projects. And this here is a very useful tool to go through and see what people are pretty much utilizing for their priority and their gas fee. So on the priority column, you can see the first two have 2 priority, the bottom 2 have 1.5 priority. The gas fee on the top 2 are going to be 15, and the gas fee on the bottom 2 are going to be 1701. And we can see that transaction had ended up going through. But yes, if that is too fast for you, and let's say you can't kind of keep up with hovering over to see the priority and the gas fee, one major thing to kind of do is go back on the trending page, and under the live sales portion up here, erase that, down here, you're gonna have 3 little symbols on the bottom portion of the project, and it's going to be a gas pump. You're going to have a little flame, and you're also going to have an ETH symbol. The gas pump is going to calculate the range of the gas that's being calculated and used throughout the project. So it's saying the people that are actually going through this project are utilizing a gas range of either 15 to 27.347 gas fee. So if you're going for like a super rare, you probably want to one up this person if you're going to be putting the exact same priority. And the priority is going to be the flame emblem that we actually have here. So the priority fee range that they're utilizing for this project is 1.5 to 2. And we're also going to have the ETH symbol here, which is going to have a total of 0.346. And what that's saying is that 5 people are making 5 transactions, which is totaling up to that amount of ETH. So again, whatever this little portion, the person is going to be how many wallets are actually getting into the project. The transaction, or the little orange circle with the number, orange number, is going to be the actual transactions that are going through. And again, the ETH symbol is going to be the total amount of ETH that is actually calculating. So if you guys are having trouble going over the what gas kind of range to use and what priority range to use, this is definitely something to keep an eye on, because again, it's going to give you the range of the total project that everybody's utilizing. So again, if you're going for like a super max rare, again, you can just see, in order as of right now to max out or out snipe anybody here, you'd be able to just have to go for 1.5 priority and 25.7 gas to beat absolutely everybody. So that's a very cool metric that you can just pop up instantly on the trend page. Let's go back into Utes. Looks like it's getting a couple more sales here. See if we have any questions. No, mid dives. Okay. Looks like this project's actually getting some sales in. So one of the things I want to kind of jump into now is going to be the trading view portion. And we don't have many people here today, but fun for you guys because you guys are in for a treat. So if you guys haven't known, we actually ended up getting a trading view implementation for the charting system, which is actually really cool and intuitive. It's a very useful tool if we can get to know how to use it. And dang it, I can say I've missed this so far. But let's kind of see the reasoning or the technical reasoning of why this is actually kind of working out. Jesus, when did this mint? Yesterday or today? Today. Hmm. Yeah, this is dang it. Well, nonetheless, um, ideally, what I like to tell people initially when you're getting off initial mints, I like to start off on the Alpha Sharks view because the Alpha Sharks view is going to give us a plot chart. I mean, it's going to give us every single sale that's kind of going through at that point. With TradingView, as of right now, the lowest time frame that we're actually going to have access to is going to be 1 minute, and that might seem very fast to us, but it's not very ideal for, I guess, what we're calculating within the first, I don't know, 15-20 minutes of I guess the price action that's actually happening. So personally, I like to kind of stay on the Alpha Sharks view for that. Until we actually solidify two things, which is one is going to be a topping zone, which we should always kind of see kind of off the bat if we're even looking at this project, because initially off the mint, you're going to get your initial resellers or your flippers that are going to try to mint as fast as they can and make the profits as fast as they can. So usually those happen to be, I guess, the highest sale for the time being, if the project actually happens to make a run in the future. So I like utilizing and picking out a point where I see, okay, this is a topping zone where I kind of know what has happened and I kind of know why that sale has kind of gone through. So it gives me 1 point of a range that I'm looking to create. So now that we have a topping zone and we figured like, hey, nobody is buying over this price, we can solidify that by literally our price action. The second thing I like to solidify is a bottoming or a bottom zone, which you can't really tell until you actually get it. So it's going to be probably one of the harder things to kind of take off the initial rip. But one of the major things why we look for this is because when we create a range and we look for a breakout of a range, we're looking for 100% move of that range itself. And what I mean by that is, again, we're taking our top portion. Where's this info line? So if I'm taking my top portion and I finally got a bottom sale down here, again, this is telling us that this is at least an 80%, 85% move. Again, not looking at the, I guess, ETH price. Yeah, this could be 0.03, but let's look at the percentage wise, because this could be 2 ETH and gone down to all the way to 0.04, and it'd still be the same percentage change. So creating a range, this is kind of what I'm talking about. Now that we have this range created, we can now see that we have a very risk mitigated trade kind of setting up here. One being, again, we have the sell that, again, we're not kind of reaching over. Then we have price action where we actually get volume starting to come in. And that's ideally where we're probably going to start seeing our listings over time start to shoot back down. Because probably during this time, you're seeing listings kind of shooting up just like this. So that's kind of a key thing to look at to, if you're having trouble picking out, I guess, a range. You can pretty much see by the deduction in volume and the increase in volume to kind of solidify those 2 points. So after we kind of have those points solidified, what I like to do is just draw our trend lines. It sounds simple and ridiculous, but honestly, the breakout of the trend line would have gave us the most least risk mitigated entry here. So if we're sitting here at an entry at 0.04 or 0.004, the bottom is pretty much zero. So you're pretty much risking 0.004 for a potential upside of, let's see that range that we're playing within. And anytime we're playing, oops, can I zoom this in? You guys see that? Yeah, you guys can. Cool. Oh, I can't do the tool. Dang it. Basically, right here, when we're setting up a high and low range, again, this is a major kind of high that we ended up getting. But then where we ended up getting decent amount of sales here is kind of where I'm utilizing that top trend line price action. So again, if we're looking and breaking out of a potential range, we're looking for, oops, 100% move of that actual breakout. So, oops, why can I grab that? There you go. So yeah, that breakout of this range here, notice where we actually happen to top out at and get these nice little sales kind of popping in here. That's again 100% move off of risking 0.0004 to make 2-3 times what you could potentially be making at this point. Again, the monetary gain wise is not there, but the percentage wise is there. And again, I kind of want to push that to you guys, is it's not how much you really make, because it doesn't matter what chart this is. This could have been Bored Ape Yacht Club, and if this was 50 ETH, or if that was 300 ETH and this was 50 ETH, that's a nice dip buy, and that there's no change there. All we're changing is the project itself and the volume that's actually coming in, or lack thereof. So drawing trend lines and seeing the break out of that kind of zone is going to give us a initial view saying, hey, we're kind of breaking this downward trend, and buyers are actually coming up and buying it up. And notice what actually happens here. Where's the trend line at? There you go. Notice down here at the bottom, reasoning for pushing up, we're just staying within trend, meaning we're creating higher lows at this point. Plus, look at our volume. Our average volume over time is correlating with our price action. And again, I wish we had the data for all-time listings where we can see how our listings are looking here, because again, what's probably helping push that is listings decreasing during those times, while demand here is increasing. So it's kind of a correlation of putting these things together. And again, the reason we kind of draw out these ranges is because look at where we topped out at. Notice this last range, this topping range that we drew out, the first initial, I guess, sale, you can say. Look at where we stopped. Right back at that topping zone. And just think about this psychologically. Think about, we're not even talking technical, just fully based on emotions. If you had 10 plus tokens here, no, we're not looking at price, we're looking at percentage. It dropped all the way back down here, and you just saw this ride all the way back up for it not to come back and break out. What are you thinking at this point? Not only you, but what are other people thinking at this point? And is the demand there to back up the move? That's the real question. We can see with the white line, our average volume is going down over time. So what's that telling us? Average demand is going down. We need listings to go down with that as well. Because if we don't, what's going to happen is we're going to start to get the retraction. And then that, once you start getting past that third, fourth kind of retracement off the trend, is where it starts to get a lot more risky. Again, even though you're dealing with 0.025 here, again, it's not the point. It's the point that you could drop another 85%. And the ideal entry was down here, where again, your risk was very minimal at this point, where to here, if you try to buy up here, and let's say you're trying to buy multiple, again, if we don't break out of that, we have a full range to the downside still. Again, that's a 90%. Again, forget how much ETH that actually is. We're talking a 90% move on your money. That's insane. You have to have some type of conviction here to actually say, hey, we're going to actually break through the total range. Because right now, what this here has insinuated is that all of this is just a big accumulation. Let's drop that box. All of this is an accumulation zone now. Yeah, you can split them up, I guess, technically. Like you can have this little portion here that we had set up, and kind of this portion that we have setting up as well. But again, with the price points that we're at, the range that we're at, I'm not a big fan. So I'd rather wait for the way bigger breakout at this point, because again, it doesn't matter what range we're drawing within. When we break out of the range, we're looking for a 100% move. So again, this one ended up playing out. We got a 100% move to the upside. Notice right where we end up topping out at, right above it. And then what happened? We ended up breaking through it to get another 100% move off of that. And look at where our wicks go. It's almost like a puzzle at this point. It's almost hilarious to watch. And same thing here. We're accumulating, and if we happen to break out, we're looking for a 100% move of the breakout of this upper box. But if not, and listings start to keep rising and demand is still lagging at this point, we're going to end up retracing. So utilizing this view, guys, is going to be huge. Has so many tools that you can kind of utilize, but just the drawing tools themselves, I highly suggest people jump on them, because again, it's almost comedy to see kind of the price action jump to where it's at, and for people to say that technicals don't work, especially in this space, because I mean, we're seeing it live pretty much, and every project that we're kind of going over, we're seeing the toppings and the reversals of them. We're making statistical, data-based, I guess factual-based strategies at this point. And we're not just throwing money kind of at the project that we're kind of just looking at. We're actually technically breaking this down and saying, hey, is this worth me putting my money up? Is this worth the actual risk? Is it worth it for me to risk 90% of my money to make 10%? Or do I want to risk 10% of my money to make 90%? So again, utilizing these charts is really going to help you out. And drawing these through is huge. And being able to see them and just seeing over time, we're creating higher lows until we're not. Again, how we kind of tell that, a lot of people have that question. Trend lines. Our trend lines are going to be our best friend. It's not these crazy indicators that everybody like RSI or statistics or anything like that. Trend lines are going to be one of your best friends. In combination, using them while looking at volume is going to be huge. Because again, right here, we're testing that trend line. What we need to actually see is for this to continue and to potentially test the top of the range here to potentially break out. We need listings to start decreasing here. We need major volume to start coming in, over 5 sales for sure. And yeah, we need listings to go way down, because we're pushing into 15% now. So ideally, this would probably be a zone that, again, if these people with 10 plus tokens are looking to de-risk, this is probably not a bad zone. Again, because you have the range to pull back all the way down 100%. of this range that we're playing within, which can go all the way down to 0.01. So let's see what we actually get. Oh, we actually have a comment. First name basis, what's good? Just seeing you saw the suggestion. Yes, I did. I actually sent that in. So yes, sir. Good suggestion. I actually like that chart a lot. There's a few different charting things I've been looking at that are pretty interesting, actually. I got another. Cool. Let's see. Also, can you do a follow-up on Crypto Simeji? Still holding 2 for 0.15 average. First AMA tomorrow. So, seeing if I should sell one to de-risk. Cool. Yeah, let's go over that. All right. Let's see. I wish I could. Can I save this? Ah, I can. Cool. So one of the other things too, guys, if you guys can, I would highly suggest this. If you guys can create like a folder or something that you guys can use to just pretty much take screenshots of charts, that's pretty much what I do. You can come up here on the top right. Now, let's say you're looking at, let's say you want to swing a project. Let's say, for instance, you want to swing this project. And you're like, shoot, I have my drawings here and I want to go look at other portions and maybe even want to share this on Twitter or something, or share it with people in Sharks. All you'd have to do is come up here to the camera, and all you'd have to do is either save the chart image, copy the chart image, copy the link to a chart image. You can tweet it, anything you pretty much want. And it's cool. You can start sharing your charts around. So if you guys start utilizing that, tag me in some. I'm always interested in looking at other people's charts. So yeah, cool thing to utilize with that. Let's go over Crypto Simeji. I always spell it wrong. How do you spell that thing? Crypto Simeji. There you go. Okay. I remember talking about this one. Was this the one endorsed by Baidu? Was this one? Am I mistaken? Somebody's gonna have to quote me on that. Okay. Let's see what we got. Interesting. All right. Let me stop talking to myself and actually break it down, huh? First thing, again, what I like to go over is the top portion. So I'm gonna do just a quick breakdown. Pretty much the same thing that we've been doing. So I like that it's pushing that 50% owner supply. That MBCP is right at that number, that 7.5, pushing. If I can get to 10-ish, that's going to be really interesting to see. That's, you said tomorrow's they have an AMA? Is that what you're saying? First AMA tomorrow, seeing if they should de-risk. That's a tough one. Well, you never go broke taking profits, I tell you that. But we'll break it down technically right now. I like that it's almost at 10% listings. Ideally, I want to see listings go down. That's what's kind of pushing me to kind of de-risk, but I like one thing. I like another thing too, that here, let's break this. I like a few things. I like that we're holding higher lows. So overall, we're on the upward trend. I also like, look at this last high. Remember I was talking about picking the ranges. So we had this prior low, and then we had an initial high. Excuse me. But yeah, so we can utilize that top piece as a overall either support or resistance. So I personally would be using that line as an over-under. Wherever you kind of feel comfortable. Again, you probably know a little more fundamental based on the project itself. if you can stay holding this trend line and holding over this 0.27 high, uh, there's really no reason to be kind of getting out here. Again, this is not financial advice at all. Do as you will. But one of the things I'd be looking at very like a hawk going into the AMA is the amount of listings. And if you feel that going into the AMA that it's probably going to be something where people are going to have kind of the same idea as you, this is probably not a bad idea to kind of get out of, because you're kind of sandwiched into an apex point right here where you're gonna have to make a move. So either it's gonna start to break out of past highs, or listings are gonna start to run up. People aren't gonna like what they're hearing in the AMA and start breaking that upward trend, and you're actually gonna start making lower lows at that point. So you're at a very interesting part in crypto Symmeji's price action right here. Wish I need more fundamental news about it, but that's a tough decision, man. I'm glad I'm not the one to make that. But I hope you're in the money. Let's see. Yeah, I got VC back 200 million or something wild like that. That's not bad. Ludo, dang. What is MBCP? MBCP is going to be the next blue chip probability. So basically what it's taken into account is the blue chip projects that are actually into this project that we're looking at, and gives a mean of that, how many people are holding, and the amount through each blue chip that they're holding, and they put into a percentage that we end up getting through here. And the reason I like to see that at a higher number is because means that there's a lot more blue chips involved, and then 2 would be with a higher MBCP, it's giving us the idea that if there is some type of quality news or quality catalyst at this point, then there would be a one sec. Huh? I don't know. I'll figure it out. I can't. I'm on a live stream right now, dude. Sorry about that. So yeah, this here is going to be one of the major areas for us to kind of figure out with crypto Symmeji. But yes, awesome breakdown as always. I think I'll sell one tonight. Yeah, you definitely let us know how that goes, first name basis. If you happen to win on that, congrats. But if this goes to 5 ETH or something, man, I'm completely sorry about that. I should actually listen in to that crypto Symmeji AMA. Should be interesting. But yeah, ideally, look at listings. I think that's going to be one of the major indicators going into that AMA. And if you start to see that kind of rise a bit, like push into the 1100s, 1200s, then yeah, it's probably going to get a little retracement at that point. I want to see that pushing like 700 listings though, to be honest, to get a true breakout. Because again, when we draw a range, we're looking for a 100% move. So looking for that 0.5, 0.52 around there. Again, on a true breakout, and that would have to insinuate that we break out of volume as well, breaking out of average volume that we had solidified in the beginning. So yeah. Yeah, listings have stayed near 1,000 for a while. Yes, so yeah, I would definitely be watching that as the main kind of indicator. Um, but yeah, I hope you're in the money on that. That's a nice trade if you end up getting some lower entries on this. All right. Let's see. All right, let's see if there's any more questions. Not seeing any more questions. All right. If there's no more questions, then we'll go over. So that'll kind of be it. All right, so I see Ludo typing. We'll give him time to type that. Okay. Definitely moving the graph takes used to. Yeah, moving to the separate trading view graph is definitely something to get used to, but something I would highly suggest trying to train your eye on. It's just good to uh, just see a different perspective of price action because it's the same thing. It's calculating the same thing. It's just on a different layout. But with the tools that we get and the indicators that we get from TradingView, it's really helpful and a really powerful tool to utilize. Let's see if there's any more questions. I don't deal with that end, so I honestly don't have any idea. But I'm so glad we did, and I think one of two projects to actually have this implemented. So yeah. Yeah. First name basis. What was that? What about Namidia? Seeing it being called as one. Let's check that out. What's that called? Namidia. Namidia. 5,000 supply. 0.003. So revealed. So. I don't know when this release. Come on. It's an older project. September 4th. Few days. Let's see what we got. Interesting. Okay, holding trend. What are we doing here? We're just holding trend here. Yeah, another trend line I'd utilize that last high. As long as it can hold that last high and hold this overall trend, it's a long. Trouble is going to be that last high though, because you're going to have the top trend line and you're going to have the all-time high right there too. But you're starting to get this little curvature here. So if you get this actually to pull, this will be interesting. They'll get a few more calls in there too. So you're pushing that 50%, under 10%. You just need some volume to kick it in. It's holding trend. So I like it like around this 0.2, 0.18 zone. Under that, I think it's pretty much done. But yeah. Cool. See if there's any more questions. Alright. If that's it, I think we'll end it here. Alright. Let me. How am I gonna do this? Oh, I got it. Alright. So, appreciate you guys coming down here and participating during the live stream. We do these twice a week, Monday at 2 p.m. Eastern and Tuesdays at 7:15 p.m. Eastern as well. But yeah, without you guys coming to these, they're not to any benefit. So appreciate you guys coming down here and asking some questions. What I'm gonna do right now is I've put everybody into the wheel. I'm gonna see if you guys can get my screen to actually get red up here. All right. Oh, wake artist, let me add you up there. My fault. All right. So that's gonna be it. We're gonna give out 2 prizes today. I believe it's a Discord Nitro and an S3 boost. So if you happen to win, make sure that you open up a ticket and we'll get you all fixed up. But appreciate you guys coming down. So good luck to everybody. Glitched for the win. Congrats. Make sure that you open up a ticket and we'll get you all fixed up, Glitch. Alright, next one. Let's see who the lucky winner is. Oh, who is it? Ooh, Domain with the win. Cool. So congratulations. Again, if you guys can please open up a ticket and we'll get you guys all fixed up. But yeah, again, appreciate you guys coming down. And yes, we'll be hosting these live pretty much every week. So if you guys have any suggestions, any concerns that you guys have to bring forward, here would be the right place to do that. But yeah, I appreciate you guys coming down, and if you guys can help spread the word out, either get some tweets around or just tell people about these sessions, that would be awesome. But yeah, other than that, I really appreciate you guys coming down, and yeah, I'll catch y'all next week. Yeah, may your guys' bags be pumped. Yeah, no worries.